Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. This side, Rahul Magan here as a Chief Executive Officer of Treasury Consulting LLP, and today we would be covering a very interesting topic, which is Philippines peso. Now, what do you mean by now? As you very well understand that Indian IT industry is generating approximately $150 billion of the revenue per year, and out of this $150 billion of the revenue, roughly 25% of the revenue is coming from Philippines. So 25% is not a small amount. But in that regards, we need to understand that this part of the world is facing a lot of volatility in the currency. I'm not saying they are dollar dependent, but at the same time, they are getting up. I still remember my days as a corporate treasurer when we used to hedge Philippines peso having negative premium. So we used to pay premium rather than we used to receive premium. So what I meant to say that there was a days in Philippines peso when you supposed to hedge, you know, uh, when you supposed to hedge and you book the spot rate in which you used to pay the premium then receiving the premium. Think about INR when you used to think about Indian rupee when you supposed to receive when you supposed to pay the premium then receiving it. These days are very far, to be very honest, because these days are very far because of the fact that Indian because of the fact that the reverse carry will take some time for India. But if you look at the chart right up front of you, you will get to know that certainly this part of the world is facing a very high carry. A very high carry, unfortunately not being able to capitalize because of the politically and economic reasons, because of the infrastructure wise and all, but they are trying well. Now if you see this chart, then we will get to know that $1 is equals to approximately 48.66 Philippines peso. 48.66 Philippines peso, which is very good, because certainly I still remember that few years ago $1 was equals to 32 to 35 Philippines peso. Today it is $1 equal to 48.66 flat. We take then approximately 48.70 Philippines peso, which effectively means that if I am an exporter who is exporting in dollars, I am having a very good position to make money, because ultimately Philippines is a cheap country. There is no doubt about that. So I'm not saying that they have a very good workforce pertaining to English, but at the same time it is a cheap country and the skill set of the people is very high. So that's something which we cannot deny, and something we cannot take it granted. Skill set of the Philippine people is very high. So if we see that I'm an exporter in the Philippines, and sitting today my $1 is equals to 48.60, and I'm doing export of $1 million from my country, then in that sense I'm making a good amount of money. There is no doubt about that. But at the same time we should also but at the same time we should also understand one fact very carefully, that Philippines peso is facing a lot of volatility nowadays. Now that volatility you will get to know in the chart itself. Now if you go down, you will get a chart which is RVI, relative volatility index. As we earlier told that relative volatility index is similar like relative strength index. Now what is related? Now rather than taking an absolute value, it does take the standard deviation between the two number. So what I'm doing, rather than taking wait a minute, let me cancel this. Okay, let me this. Because let me change this. I'm trying. 1 minute. Let me change this to this. Okay. Nonetheless, let's move on. So what we're doing, if we see this chart, which is relative volatility index, you will get to know that sitting today, the relative volatility index is approximately 58. I'm not saying 60. Let me take a diplomatic, which is 58. It effectively means that it is 53. It is 53 now. It effectively means that it is neither buy or nor sell. It effectively means that it is neither buy and nor sell. But at the same time, we should also acknowledge we should also acknowledge the fact that we should also acknowledge the fact that Philippines is having a resistance level at 49. So even when I was acting as a corporate treasurer, number of times we felt that Philippines is facing a resistance at 49. Let us go with the same chart, keeping 5 years. Right now, in this 5-year chart, you can clearly see that Philippines is facing a highest level at 49, but unfortunately not been able to maintain that highest level at 49. So if today Philippines is trading at 48.50, then my opinion would be that we should sell Philippine dollar as an exporter, and as an importer we should wait. We should not do that. Now take a simple example. If we do the same relative volatility index for 5 years, then here we are heading towards 80. We are heading towards, now this is approximately I think 65 something, and we have a band 32.70. So effectively means we are heading towards 70. Now it is a sell call. So I think 49 is a strong sell call for Philippines peso. But at the same time, we should also acknowledge one fact carefully, that exporters needs to be very much honest that which all derivative instrument they are using. I think that if you are using a plain vanilla forward contract, then I don't think it does make any sense. It does make any sense for people to get the best rate. I think we should use options, and I'm not sure. Whether exporters are interested in having exotic structures also, like your range forwards, call spread, put spread and all, but I think they should do. And if you look at this chart from relative vigor index, which is here, relative vigor index, which is here, you will get to know absolutely the same thing in the relative vigor index. In the relative vigor index, you will get to know that relative vigor index is nothing but it is an indicator which is used in the technical analysis that measures the conviction of the recent price action, which means the latest price action, and the likelihood that it will continue. So that if things are going up, it would continue to go up. If things are going down, it will continue to move down. The relative vigor index compares the positioning of the security closing price. If it is going up, of course it would go if of course your close would be higher than your open, and relative to its percentage change. So it will, how it would be, relative vigor index would be equals to open minus close. Sorry, my mistake, close minus open. So if the security is going up, or a currency like here we can see it is going up, then of course close minus open would be greater than 0. There is no doubt about that. And if it is divided by high minus low, of course high would always be greater than the low, it would be greater than 0. So of course if you carefully see that relative vigor index would move up rather than going down, it would move up. Now if you can see that relative vigor index is going up from here, from where it is going up. So it was here and it is going up, which means that there is a big probability that Philippines peso would go up, unless otherwise there is any politically motivated action would happen or something which is not pertaining to the financial market. Plus, we also need to understand that relative vigor index indicator is calculated in a similar fashion to a stochastic oscillator, because it is just like a stochastic oscillator. But the vigor index compares the close relative to the open rather than to the low, because as I told you, relative index is nothing but close minus open and high minus low. Traders expect that the relative vigor index to grow when the trend is bullish, and it would down when the trend is bearish. So you can clearly see on your screen that relative vigor index is moving up. It means the trend is catching up. And I think it is a sell call, but not now. I think certainly we need to wait. It's not a sell call now. I think sell call would be approximately provided I think 49 is a sell call, because history suggests that Philippines peso has maintained a resistance level of 49. And I don't think 49, I think 48.80 or not 48.80, 49.90 is a sell call. but at the same time we need to appreciate the fact that we don't know that which all derivative instrument traders are using in that regards. So this was for the day that we compared, we did the technical analysis on Philippines peso, and we would continue to do a lot of technical analysis. We would continue to do this would continue to do in the near future, and I think our upcoming video would be on US dollar to Singapore dollar, wherein we would be covering that how an offshore treasury center and also a tax haven, which is Singapore, whose currency is getting volatile, and believe me, Singapore is getting volatile. Singapore is getting volatile, but nonetheless, we would continue to bring a lot of video, and we are very pleased to share that we are now up 200 videos on our YouTube channel, and by December we are expecting another 50 videos. So by December we would have 250 videos. With this, we would like to thank you very much and hope you like this video. You know our contact details, which is Strategy Consulting LLP@gmail.com, and my alternate number is rahulmagan8@gmail.com. We thank you very much and see you soon. Have a good luck.